Live, live from beautiful New Jersey. It's Schmuel Buckman. What's going on, guys? I guess I should test out my settings here. Yep. We're all good. StreamYard is liking my sound. Final boss, what's going on, man? Uh, Nothing important, nothing planned, nothing predicted. I just was moving some stuff around. Realized Patrick isn't going to be on for probably an hour, and thought, why not? Why not go live and check in? It's been kind of an amazing day in the Dabbleverse, I'd say. And I don't know how you guys feel, but the Keanu stream on this little piggy today was pretty amazing. There we go. Sorry, that's my little notepad moving. Maybe I'll adjust this up a little bit. There we go. And do a whip it. Yeah, those days are over. And I'm going to assume that my whip it, which when we were a kid was popping the top off whipped cream cans in the supermarket and doing them, are different than what they do today. I guess you people can actually buy nitrogen in big cans and do them that way, or do they use the what do you call it, the cartridges that used to have CO2? So I have no idea, but penis wrinkle, I'm all up for doing a whip it. Nitrous, thank you. I said nitrogen, I meant nitrous. Thank you. Yeah, I've never been a fan. Cigarette Jones, why cartridges? I have to look them up. I think that's what they use in when you go to Starbucks for the whipped cream. I'm pretty sure that's nitrous in there. But the only time I had nitrous outside of a whipped cream can was in a dentist's office, and it made me think that I was going to die. So I had them take it off. I thought it would be good. I thought, oh, this will make getting dental work easier. But I don't know. I kept thinking I was going to suffocate. So I had them take it off. So I'm not a whip it guy, but I seem to remember that it was very quick, right? Like you do a whip it and it's over in like a minute or two. So there we go. Panhandler. Stallion, I was about to say to super thank you for all your help. Then I sat through 15 ads on your recent clips. You got mad ad money, Holmes. Get that premium. It's $10 a month. Well worth it. Penis wrinkle. The kids do Galaxy Gas. They legally can sell it as a culinary tool to infuse whipped cream and other things. Is it like a one-use thing? Like, do you do one cartridge and then you need more? So Panhandler from Stallion 19. I appreciate it though. Use that money towards premium. Yeah, the commercials are really bad. I actually went up buying Rumble Premium because I like to watch Dixon, and the commercials were so bad. And they had no, there was, they just threw them up whenever, and didn't matter. Could be in the middle of a sentence or whatever. And I, and at least with YouTube, with the $9.99, I watch it enough. I feel like I'm getting something, but man, does YouTube suck. The app, it goes out. I get this message. It cannot be completed. It's just awful. And all right, back to our nitrous discussion. The final boss. No, the Galaxy Gas is like a 10-foot tall whipped cream can strictly huff nitrous. It's really sad. Yeah, but where would you keep that as a kid? And Penis Wrinkle, I know what you're talking about. The cartridges, they used to sell them at porno stores. The Galaxy gas comes in big tanks. Yeah, I mean, if you're like a 15-year-old, you can't really be hiding a 10, foot or whatever the hell it is, Galaxy gas thing, but you could definitely hide the cartridges. But like I said, we were doing the Ready Whip. Is that what it was called? Ready Whip? Um, that shit. And then we'd get chased out of the store because the guy would get mad at us and whatnot. But I grew up in an age when they would chase you and they could hit you, so they didn't often call the cops. And so you could get through your life doing the things that kids do now and wind up getting a record for. Back then, and you didn't do it. Um, Cigarette Jones, there's no parental oversight anymore. Um, yeah, I think that comes and goes. I think it depends upon the family, and but I do see some goddamn loser parents. I was sitting out on the deck earlier today, and I'm watching some woman. She's got like a 2 or 3 year old, and the kid is crying and sitting on the sidewalk, or sit. It's a whatever, sitting on the sidewalk, and it's wet, and the kid is just sitting there. And the mother's solution to this is, "You're just going to get wet. You're just going to get wet." And I was like, pick the kid up and like give her a little smack on the ass. That should solve problems. But apparently, no, we don't do that anymore. So I don't know what parental oversight is these days. And I also deal with a lot of people uh, whose lives they have they have kids when they're very young, and they're different fathers, and they can't take care of them. And this is the society we've developed. But I shall not go there. I wouldn't want Panhandler thinking that I'm at all conservative, because that would just blow his mind, because he thinks I'm a pinko commie, and I kind of like that. So can't smack kids anymore. These kids are wild nowadays. Um, says Mud Sharks Unite. It's so strange, because to me, what's happened is like we've had this bifurcation of society. Um, my wife's friends and families and that stuff. These kids are all great kids. They all go to college and they all get great jobs, and yet I'm in New York City, and the kids that go to like New York City public schools, particularly the minority kids, they literally don't teach them anything. It's like they corral them for 8 hours a day. It's like just to keep them off the streets. And I talked about this before. When I first opened my business, and I would hire high school kids for the summer, uh, I would hire high school kids for the summer. You knew by what grade they were in what they had learned, right? Like it was, they had algebra the first year of high school, then geometry the second, and I think trig the third, or the other way around. And you would know it. And now these kids have zero math skills. And it's not even like, I know I'm the boomer, and it's like, oh, you have a calculator on your phone. I'm like, yeah, but they don't have any of that uh, intuition, particularly when it comes to like percentages and stuff, right? They have no idea that 70% of 100 is $30 off. They have to like take out the phone and calculate it, and it really slows shit down. But then they also can't tell that stuff just doesn't seem to add up. So, and we've also moved into a world of what's the monthly, how much is that monthly, how much is that monthly, as opposed to I feel like I could tell you it's uh, 1,200 a month, or 1,000 a year, and people will go, I'll take the 1,200, having no idea that there's a difference. Mr. Blue Sky, I thought you didn't have hair. No, I have hair. It's just so light what I have left, and I am balding in the front, so um, So, dude, and I wear the hat usually because I have another light on, and my head, my forehead is so big, it just creates glare, um, giant glare. And we're going to answer this question in a second. Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid. Hey, Schmuel, any comments on the budding MKE Ashley Cummings romance? I do. I'll get there in just a minute. I want to stick here with one of my favorite topics, which is Cigarette Jones. Uh, the teachers' unions have too much influence. 100%. 100%. They care about themselves and their money and how much they're getting paid and how little they can get away with. And they also give up. So, and Cigarette Jones has too many bad teachers. I don't know that it's too many bad teachers, but I do know that it's let's just give up and not bother. I have a niece who's a speech pathologist. I could probably use it myself in the New York public schools, and the parents, half the parents just don't care. And the kid has a treatable speech problem. Um, so anyway, the kids will have like a treatable speech problem, but it requires work, and you have to work with your kid. You can't have a speech pathologist there all day, and they give them exercises. Parents don't ever do it. They just sit their kid in front of a tablet or a TV, and they don't care. Panhandler unions ruin this country. Period. I disagree, but I don't think unions ruin the country. Um, I think public employee unions are pretty much ruining the country, but that's a different story. I think the move towards this, the free trade stuff, which I guess started with NAFTA, that's the stuff that ruined the country. You got to remember when all this shit started, it was the end of the Cold War, and these guys thought, oh, we're never going to have to spend money on the military. We're just not going to have to, and we're going to have all this money to do all these things, and we want to bring the world together, and that's how we're going to have peace when we're all interrelying on each other. Such a hugely globalist view, and it absolutely shit the bed. Now that you can buy all this crap from China for $1, $2, you buy it from there, instead of paying somebody a decent wage here. But it's also my thing with the God damn it, I lost my train of thought on that one. Um, it'll come back. No big deal. It's rough being old and late at night. Cold War ends. GWAT begins. I'm going to guess that's like the globalist world order or something. Yeah, because look, man, politicians are politicians, and they're just like any other industry. They look out for themselves, and there's no, there's no way that there's no way that they care about you. And but I do laugh. I laugh about you kids, and you're complaining about Hollywood and how liberal Hollywood is, and like it's new, but Hollywood's always been that way. I mean, the big stars, even back in the day, Bogart, Bacall, um, Cary Grant, those guys were pushing heavy leftist socialist policies way back when. It was just different because we didn't need to. We didn't have the media that we have today, but they were traveling around the country, and most of them, back during World War II, were huge. I mean, huge Roosevelt people, and so that's the story. Global. Well, I had global right. So, and don't get me started about BAFTA. Ricky Gervais will say something non-PC and they'll throw him off. Hey, let me know when when NLO goes live, and then I'll pop off so you guys can all head over there. Uh, I just thought I would throw this together. Dan, hey Schmuel, what do you think about broccoli haircuts the kids are getting now? I don't know what fucking broccoli haircut is, Dan. And let's go back to your other question. What do I think about the MKE Ashley Cummings romance? I think any romance that MKE gets in is good for him. Uh, the guy was in love with something that wasn't there, and um, I've seen pictures of Mazzy, and she seems attractive enough, but not somebody that you spend 2 to 3 years of your life pining over, and especially at that age. And you just fucking get older, and you start realizing how much stuff is bullshit. And I'm just going to tell you, if you think somebody's the perfect woman, they would be with you. If they're not with you, they're not the perfect woman. And it doesn't mean the woman you're going to be with is going to be perfect, but pining over somebody is just ridiculous. Cigarette Jones, this show is your fault. I Cigarette Jones says, I tried to get Ray to go live. I saw you sent Ray that tweet, and I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll go live. Because the one thing that I know that gets Ray to go live is when I go live. So that always works. Mr. Blue Sky, the consolidation of all media into 4 to 5 big companies was real shitty of Clinton to do. We could, yeah, you could go back to that time too. Hey, I don't think they did this like that. They knew what they were doing. I just think that they, what's the word that I'm looking for? It, you had a lot of consolidation because you had newspapers, and the world just wasn't supporting newspapers, and those were the big media companies at the time. And then what they started to do was to let these newspapers enter into all these joint agreements to avoid antitrust law, and then they just got bigger and bigger on that end. And then in the media, the news divisions were always considered loss leaders, and you would put out the news. Cronkite was probably paid a lot of money, but CBS wasn't expecting to make money off it. And then when they realized they could make money off news, they started going to the least common denominator. And if you ever want to really see what I'm talking about, you have to go back to old Connie Chung. Connie Chung was the first major news person to do these sort of, what would you call them, recreations in news prior to what she did. If there was like they were gonna do a crime scene, like a cops or something, and they had the guy go in and like do the robbery. They had to have, they really believed that the footage had to be real, and it had to be honest. And Connie was the first one to do the sort of recreations with them. And boy, did these news people scream, and it was going to destroy everything. And it turns out that it did. So now you have fucking no idea what's real or what's not. Yes, thank you, Big W. Dramatization. But Connie was the first one to do that. And they really, really got on her ass about it at the time. And there was a lot of indignation. And then Connie did it, and the shit was successful. And that's how you wound up with, like Dateline NBC and all this other bullshit, where they make stuff they make stuff up, and you just got further and further away from the news. And these guys also understood that, if it bleeds, it leads, and the more we could make it bleed, the more it would lead. And then they learned the other thing, which is one of my pet peeves, which is you'll see an article and it'll say, this company is filing for bankruptcy. This grocery store is filing for bankruptcy, and you may be left without food. But you have to read 3 to 4 pages, uh, paragraphs, I should say, down into the article to actually find the name of the company. And everything is hyper dramatic. And that's another issue with media, which is the claim the journalist always makes is, well, I don't write the headlines, so I'm not responsible. And that's been going on for a really long time. So you can have this like shocking headline on a rather simple story. And now we do it, it used to be to get you to read, now it's to get clicks. And yeah, it's all bullshit. And if you look at look at the CNN site, Fox News, or any of those things, you'll see a news story, and then the next story it will be the one that says things like, you know, cardiologist says 1 egg a day may save your life, and it's an ad, but it's not real. Like, it's hard to, you have to kind of look at it. They have sponsored in little, kind of grayed out language, grayed out text font, and it's all bullshit. So it's all about, so news is, they're selling it. They're just selling shit. So it's a very difficult dramatization. Um, oh, what bad takes are we displaying tonight? Uh, well, every take that I have is a bad take to you. So I'm just doing what I regularly do, and there it will be. Opinion? All right. And the answer is no, I have not been on Clowntown yet. I'll get on sometime. I just didn't think it felt like anything that I would fit into. So, um, Big W has asked, and I've said I would, but we're just working on it. And very funny, Cigarette Jones. Schmuel does good on panel shows. Uh, I find those the hardest to do. I like doing this and it being my own show because I feel like I'm in control. But sometimes on the panel things, I I have a point, I don't get it across, and I don't really have a chance to go back and restate what I was stating, or like today with as Mint is pointing out, Kiki making Baldo seethe. To me, that was just a goddamn shout fest, and I watched. I did not watch I watched the clips. I think Doom or Stallion, I guess, has a part one, two, and three, and I watched those, and my camera's all fucked up, boys. Um, I I watched those, and it was just yelling, uh, Nick and Keanu yelling at each other, uh, and look, I guess it was good. Um, And Keanu, I don't know that she made Baldo seethe, but she definitely made him feel. He really lost himself with that. And when you're calling somebody, like he kept calling her dummy and stuff like that, when you're doing that, um, you've lost. Because you can't win, because the best thing to do in those situations is let the other person, let Keanu be disrespectful, and let her say all sorts of ridiculous shit, and you act like uh, you maintain your dignity a little bit. So I think he lost it, and uh, I don't think anybody came out of that looking good, but Kiana doesn't answer questions. She's obviously not that bright, and but the 4 or 5 people yelling all at the same time and Kiana not answering questions, it was not. I don't know. It wasn't. It certainly wasn't. I didn't walk away feeling like I learned anything. I learned anything new, and Keanu, in my opinion, has a lot to answer for. Rakeda has a lot to answer for, and we didn't learn anything coming out of that. And Mr. Blue Sky, um, she loved it. She can't get enough attention. Uh, I kind of agree, and I've seen some of the tweets that she's put out. I haven't seen clips that she's put out, but I've seen um, tweets that she put out. She definitely thinks she won. So, or at least she's acting like she won. So I don't know if it's an Aaron thing, where you just claim victory no matter what. Um, but yeah, so it was. I don't know. I feel like the only people that won that were the guys collecting super tips because that's where they were. I mean, they had a couple of hundred of them, and uh, Melton and Moody were talking about this being, I think, the biggest super tip show they've always had. They've always had, and Cigarette Jones always be closing Schmuel. Yes, and in that vein, pinned to the top of the chat is supertip.gg/Buckman, and I would appreciate a super tip or two just to let me know that you love me. And it it would be cool. No, seriously, could always use a few bucks. That would be cool. And I don't have a lot of voices, but we can definitely do the voices. Soup Party. Here we go. Perfect. Soup Party, you are a pussy. Thank you for your $3, Soup Party. And uh, not the first time I've been called a pussy, and I am certainly positive it will not be the last time I will be called a pussy. But happy to have you on here, and thank you for that. Um, so let's just here we go, Panhandler. Whether she's right or wrong isn't the point. The loudest voices are always the most cowardly. Um, Yeah, well, yeah, but it was her and Nick yelling over each other, right? Like that was my thing. And I always enjoy the asking a question and then sitting back and seeing people try to answer it. Um, so yeah. And look, Panhandler, you were there, and we both met Nick at Hackamania, and the man's no hero, you know. And I don't think that I don't know. I didn't feel like what's the word that again I'm stuck for words tonight. Um I don't know. I don't really feel like I never did get the sense from him that he understood what he did was wrong. It was more that he had gotten caught, and that was a problem. So yeah, I had some issues with that, and maybe he'll get it. But then again, uh, it's not like the other side, which for us is Aaron, has really done anything to redeem himself or to make us think that he's any better of a human being other than what he told us. And I do understand Nick's going to Hackamania. I mean, he had a year of not being able to say anything, and Aaron shitting on him every day. So why not? And we all know that Aaron lies rather rather frequently. Um, did Nick ever put his responses to the text messages? He did, but he did put some stuff. He's been putting it up during like this particular week. Um, uh, Other than today, he seems to have know how to like parcel out info. Um, because he waited for Aaron to say something. There was one thing where it was like uh, that Nick had done it out of context, trying to fuck Aaron, and then when Nick put out the context, Aaron looked like even more of an asshole. Um, Asking questions and hanging up and listening is always appreciated, right? Isn't that the Mike and the Mad Dog thing? Um, right? I'll hang up and take your call off the air, or take your answer off the air, some bullshit like that. And Mint Diggity, wait till the body cam comes out. Oof. I don't know, you know? The body cam may be amazing. I'm not 100% sure it's going to come out. It may be amazing and it may be nothing. But we'll know when it comes out. But my experience has been that the stuff that these guys have built up, that this is going to be fantastic, this is going to be great, usually is kind of a dud. Um, and I don't think we learned anything new. Um, I don't think we learned anything new from the stuff that Nick told us. It was just proved to us. So what would the body cam footage show? That I don't know. But Nick going into it today, he went into it in the first part of that show, which is the part that I saw, explaining it and explaining the search warrant and all that stuff. Felt a little bit to me like he was prepping for its possible release. Now, Mint Diggity, Carl thinks it won't come out, so it will. He's totally wrong about Aaron in April, right? And Noel wouldn't dangle that to his audience unless he was certain. Um, yeah, I don't know how much he's dangling it, but he certainly thinks that it's going to come out, and I don't know. I do know that Minnesota, in what little I've been able to find out, has a law about body cam footage that unless there's some public interest to it, it doesn't come out. There's like some privacy thing. So unless April has agreed to its coming out, I can't imagine. I can't figure out how it would get out there. But that Minnesota Public Records published a lot of stuff they weren't supposed to. So who knows? And Mint says it's coming. Don't worry. Yeah. Man, I'm not worried. But the reality is, it's also not going to change my opinion of any of these things. I'm totally not going to care. I'm, if the house is sparkling clean, I'm not going to think Ricade is a better guy for it. And if the house is filthy, I'm not going to think better of Aaron. And we saw the pictures of April and Kayla and Nick, their mugshots, and they all looked pretty rough in it. And I'm surprised. I always thought like that the FBI and those fuckers, that they always came to your house at like 5 in the morning, and they say it's because they know you're going to be home. But I always think it's so that you always look your worst. But hey, just me. What was the guy, the terrorist guy who got busted with the T-shirt, the white T-shirt? The Iraqi guy. I can't remember the guy's name, but and he looked like shit when they arrested him, and that's the picture that sticks in everybody's mind. And he's been in Guantanamo for 100 years at this point, or 20, I guess. But the regular picture of this guy, he looked like a good-looking guy, well-dressed, all that other stuff. And then in his picture when he was taken into custody, um, he just looks like shit. It's almost like they do it on purpose. Cigarette Jones, cocaine is a hell of a drug. It is, and it can be. But and it will fuck you up. And then the other thing with cocaine is like, you've got somebody like April who's thin as a rail anyway, and you're doing coke, and most people, coke affects their appetite negatively. Khalid, yes, and most people it affects their appetite, so they're not eating anyway. So then you just look skinny and drawn, and then you're kind of not taking care of yourself. And as much as it's a drug that gets you going, it also kind of makes you kind of lazy because you're kind of, you feel so good on it. Fuck it. I don't need that shower. So you kind of get stinky. So Cigarette Jones was the first one that came up with. It was Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. And that is correct. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. All right. BYB. right? KSM, same guy, same guy. So you can look that up. I'm not going to bother to start Googling it and typing shit in the keyboard. Um, Pretty goddamn good, guys. Smart group of people. Um, let's just, we talked about the Nick putting that back. Yeah, so that was my I I sort of got so I was the thing about this little piggy that surprised me was I had stuff to do. I started listening to the show, and then I was like, you know what, I got work to do, and I stopped listening to it, and then I went to my phone at like I don't know, it was probably 8 o'clock, maybe a little after, and it said it was live, and I'm like, it can't still be live, and sure enough, it was, and they were still all just yelling at each other. So I would have much rather have seen Keanu. It would have been for me. I would have preferred like Melton, Moody, Keanu, and that was Haley from Pretty Antisocial with Keanu to get to ask the questions because Keanu got to um, avoid a lot of stuff and yelling "Whip it, whip it, whip it, go do whip it" um, was kind of a waste. Uh, but I mean, she did rat out her friend, right? Like her friend was sending her texts, and she did rat them out. And then she had been saying that Nick um, had blamed her for missing uh, a drug test, and then she or being late for it. And then she did actually read the text that she got from April that supposedly said that, and it didn't say that. I mean, I guess you could kind of infer it if you did a few twists and turns. So I don't know. I just uh, Keanu and Gino are not the brightest lights in the tree, but I find it hard. I don't know. I find it hard to believe that Keanu can reconcile with Aaron, knowing the stuff that Aaron did. Um, but you know, I think somebody's right, which is that they just need attention. And look, it's got to be rough. Keanu's been on the scene for probably 10 years at this point in New York comedy and all that. And she does that show with her mother, and they're lucky if they get, 20 or 30 viewers. So she is trying to get as much attention as she can. But what's also interesting about it is she doesn't seem to get a bump from any of this stuff. Um, so I don't really know. It says here, let's just see, man, it's okay when Nick does it. LOL. Um, I don't know what you're saying about Nick, and literally your big get at Hackamania was Nick sharing text. LOL. Hackamania was a lot more than that, but it was pretty cool to kind of confirm the stuff that we knew. And I really dislike Aaron. It's got nothing to do with this. I just dislike this fucking guy. So I have to admit that. And so anything that's going to make him look like a twat is fine with me. Panhandler thinks that Moody is fucking terrible on stream, and I disagree. I like Moody. I think Moody is very fucking smart, and he can really bring stuff back, and he even does that thing with Patrick, where Patrick will say something and Moody will like bring him back and say, no, this is specifically what's said, and it drives Patrick crazy. So it's a lot of fun, and uh, uh, that's the deal. Um, uh, Jacob, why are you saying MS? Uh, Jacob, thank you for that. You're welcome to continue to chat that stuff if it makes you happy, but uh, I'm not really gonna be bothered with it. And LOL. Yeah, I can relate to that, bro. Um, oh, wait. Panhandler, my pops was a real man whore back in the day. Um, oh, I did accidentally put it up. And Morsky, I heard this live chat is popping. It's not popping. We just got the cool people here. Ben Diggity flew to Vegas to gossip about him and read his text. I think you need to say that. Well, that's not really why I flew to Vegas, but it's okay. I flew to Vegas by to see all the people, to see the podcasts. Wasn't really anything different than you could see online, except you're there with people. So it's very cool. Um, Goddamn pussy. You're bothered by it. That's the reason you cornered Rob Saul, tough guy. Ooh. Um, I didn't call corner Rob Saul. I had a conversation with Rob Saul. And my conversation with Rob Saul is the same one that I have with other people, which is if he wants to be a tough guy, I'm here. Right? Um, that's it. I was settling beefs, picking up scores. Um, Mr. Blue Sky, I hope you're related or this is really gay. Okay. We're going to get Schmuel monetized. Yeah, someday. I have like 200 subscribers, and we'll eventually get to the 500, and that's cool. And so, Bendiggity, it wasn't for Aaron. No, I would have gone to Hackamania regardless. And I get to see people I haven't seen in a year. I enjoyed them. Dr. Steve was great, as Cigarette Jones mentions. Seeing Dr. Steve would be worth it. Seeing Lucy would be worth it. Um, uh, it was all very interesting. Um, we have a Rob Saul fan here, so there are very few of them on the planet. So I'll give this guy a little bump up here. Something that a guy that doesn't get bothered would do. Rob Saul left the hotel that I was around all day long. But after he left, he was threatening to kick my ass. Uh, he was going to do this, he was going to do that, and uh, fuck him. He's a coward and a child. So fuck Rob Saul. I waited for him. I was there. I even went out and let 5 jitneys go by because he was on his way back, and he didn't. So there we go. But to be perfectly honest, Rob's kind of like he's not even on the radar. So I'm glad that he has a fan. And did you say you want the Boise broad on you? I don't even know what the fuck that means. Um, I think we can get a Schmuel Rob Detente. I thought we had a Schmuel Rob Detente. I talked to him, and then the next day he lost his fucking mind. So, final boss. I'm a Rob Soul mod. I'm sorry. Um, thoughts and prayers, dude. Uh, don't get cute, FB. Ooh. Oh, final boss. quit, quit bragging. Final boss. It's very funny. Um, it's like was it Karmic the other day, right? Like he made every single person in his chat a mod, So being a mod isn't there. Um, all right, and BYB podcast has a little super chat for us all, and it can we hear the voice? No, no. Does this man have to give you back your $5? Hold on a second there. We'll figure it all out. Stop that. Da, 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 da. I do not have, apparently, the correct audio settings. Enable voice tips is enabled. Enable text tips is enabled. And BYB, you're sending that. Do I need to pop something up in OBS? Should I add a layer for sound? But I will read this, and it's in Julie's voice. Shuli, you knew, I knew, we know, we always knew. We are Shuli. The Cabal knew, the Mossad knew. You will be assimilated. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. All right, guys. If you're gonna send a super tip, just do it on text for tonight. I'll figure it out. Yes, I'm gonna get on the Joey C tech support hotline and figure it out. I have a feeling that there's probably a setting in OBS that I didn't do, and that's the reason why. So sorry about that. And oh my God, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna bother with that. And TJ, hey Tim, what's going on, buddy? Dub's watching Baby Finster. Very funny. And Cigarette Jones, Dave Sauer can help. Yes, I do. I know that, but I have to get a hold of him. And I've actually been trying to learn this on my own because Dave can be hard to get a hold of, but I don't want to rely on him. So I'll figure it out. It's 1:30 in the morning. I'm not going to figure it out tonight. And Big W. When is the next episode of Badly and the Wig? You're losing me. You're losing me there. Stephen Bravo, Karmic X can help. Yeah, obviously, right? There's never been a faster setup in the super tip universe than Karmic. And it took me a long time just because I'm lazy. BYB podcast. I demand you make it work immediately. Well, tell me what I need to add in the audio. Get it together. Get it together, man. Yeah. No, I got it. Derek, call Moody. Probably could. I wonder what time it is in New Zealand. We could send him a link and then we could do it all online. On the show, that would make things fair. That would be really interesting. Cigarette Jones, LL Karmic was asking Dave for help. Dave is really helpful. The problem with Dave is you can only get you can't. He's not predictable time wise, so it's really hard, and it's hard for me because I'm working and other stuff. So it's just hard. It's hard to get into setting something up with him. So you got to like do it when he has time, and I often wind up not having the time, and there's a 3 hour time difference, and I'm not usually up this late. So Cigarette Jones, yes, it's tomorrow over there. I know it's 12 hours from here to Perth. I don't know what it is in New Zealand or in Sydney. And but yeah, donate a big enough sum, and I'm sure it'll work. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you keep donating, and we can figure out how to make it go. Stallion 19. I went into Dave's stream tonight. Was not impressed. Ah, Dave. Yeah, Dave he's got a different method of doing streams, and it's funny because we do well together, but it has more to do with my trying to stay on topic and coming into this with preparedness and whatnot. And Dave is much more of a seat of the pants guy. Who wants to do it? BYB. Connect your virtual audio connection. I think that was what I was asking. Stallion 19, yeah, the coward won't take away my wrench. Um, wait. I, I missed this. Stallion, you're a mod over there. Wait, are you a mod on Dave? Is that who we're talking about, or are you on Karmic? Um, all right, guys, this is something that you're all too young for. TJ, I was only kidding. Another Quaalude. She'll love me in the morning. Quaalude, Quaaludes were the most fantastic drug ever made. Uh, just just the greatest. It's such a shame that they took them off the market. Just fantastic. Um, let's say all the guys who don't hate ladies are the most hated. That's the internet for you. All the guys who don't hate ladies are the most hated. That's the internet for you. Um, uh, it is, man. I guess. I don't know, you know. It's funny because I've always said that, right? Like a lot of these guys, I'm like, uh, yeah, and meet a lot of these young single guys at these events, and like they don't seem interested in like women at all, and I find it a little creepy because when I was young, I mean that was the goal of everything, right? Was to do it. Um, Stallion or Mint Diggity, every boomer says that. Is Frank a boomer? Um, Cigarette Jones were all mods on Dave's channel. Yeah, I guess Dave doesn't really care. Oh, Dave gives everyone a wrench. I hate him for it. I haven't give anybody a wrench um, yet. Cigarette Jones, they took Quaaludes off because of rape night. Um, I don't think that was the reason. I think what happened was this is pretty much before these guys were slipping it into drinks, like roof and all. But Quaaludes they took off. They determined it had no medical purpose. Because it was really just it wasn't being prescribed for what it was supposed to be, which was like sleep and shit like that. And the only people that um, were using it to get high, and it had a lot of it was creating a lot of problems in in the drug universe, and so uh, that's kind of why they took it off the market. And so, unfortunately, but it was good while it lasted. And the other thing was is that there was a shit ton of counterfeit out there, and I don't know what they put in it at the time, but it was just you, there's one sensation that you get when you take real Quaaludes, and if somebody hasn't taken one, they won't know what it is. And if you just take it and it puts you to sleep, then it was not real. Um, and what does Final Boss say? Oh, make me your first wrench mule. I'm trying a speed run to be a mod on every show. Yeah, um, yeah. I don't plan on doing it anyway. Panhandler, legalize it all. Yeah. Disagree that that's a solution. But there we go. Um, grape, grape at Panhandler. All right, is grape something the boomer doesn't know, um, or is that like the old what was that shit syrup? I think those guys were drinking. The coffee, the cough medicine, and that stuff. Um, so who knows? But Panhandler says you can't grape the willing MBS. Sizz up. There you go, guys. Sizz up. So I'm not a complete boomer. I do know some of this stuff. And add another purple drank, right? All basically the same stuff. It was like the dextromethorphan and it's cough syrup mixed with stuff. But apparently, like it really fucks up your brain like permanently. And I, other than Nyquil, I've never really gotten high off cough syrup. I didn't even know you could. But there you go. So let's just see here. All right. Um, our boy, Patrick is going live, and he's right now covering some very large person in the kitchen. So I'll go a few more minutes. And Stallion, are you Dave's Yoda but for drugs? I'm Dave's anti-drug guy, and I just coke. I just coke is just a bad drug because it's so good, and you keep doing it, and it's so bad for you, and it really is bad on your heart. And it's like, in your 30s, you can put up with anything. But what happens is, you get to be 50, 55, and then you wind up with like heart failure and shit. And I would say um, Joey C's heart stuff is coming, probably has a lot to do with meth addiction and whatnot that he had. So there you go. Dick Fitzwell, Patrick took half of KB's viewers, his pay pigs, and his fans. Now troll him in his chat, but he's more mad at Shuley. I don't get it. Uh, if I understand this correctly, and I think I do, basically you're saying is that Patrick took half of Kevin Brennan's viewers and half of his pay pigs, and Patrick's fans troll MLC, but Kevin is more mad at Shuley, and you don't get it. Um, my feeling about that is uh, Kevin gets more satisfaction out of trolling Shuley, and they have a nice little back and forth where Kevin can, oh, look at what Shuley's numbers are, and Shuley's got that anti Brennan show or anti Karen show, whatever. So it's kind of they circle jerk each other, they help each other get viewers, and Melton just doesn't. Melton doesn't really care, and he certainly can't do the playboard thing with Melton versus him. So it doesn't help. So yes, in 3 words, Cigarette Jones, it's a work. Yeah. Now sometimes works aren't works, but they're works, meaning the guys in the work don't even realize it's a work. You know, but Kevin's constantly showing me the money, showing me the money. Stallion 19, did you see the short Joey C posted yesterday at the city council? I did not. Where did I hear it? But Joey wanted to complain about trolls stalking him or something. Is that true? I don't know. I figured I would wait till Tukey tomorrow and get to see it. That would be very cool. Um, so, and if you guys haven't seen it, I was looking to see if it was a Doom clip or a Stallion clip, and I was going to play it, the Joey C wedding video that Tukey and those guys did the other night. But it's not a clip, it's their stuff, it's Tukey stuff, and I guess he's going to do it tomorrow morning on his show. So, the clipping guys, I think they put their shit up so that we show it, and the content creators, I don't think they do. So that's the. Oh, I get it now. It's Doom. Now, Doom did put up a clip of the wedding, but it's the review, the critique, I guess, of the wedding. There's Luigi Greenberg, Tukey, Cardiff, OJ, and shit. His name's not TJ. The fuck is his name? The other guy. And he was at Hackamania. God, why am I JT. And it's just their review of the thing is just fucking hilarious. By itself, the video is pretty pathetic, but with them on it, I promise you, you will laugh. Stallion 19, he went with Alex Stein. Oh, I did see a picture of him and Alex Stein, so I get it. I have to be honest, I've never gotten Alex Stein. Like, I don't get what's funny about him or interesting. I mean, some of his stuff, like, some of the stuff that he did early on at city councils was funny, but like after a while, it just got to be old. And I don't know. He's been off my radar for a really long time, but I'm also not necessarily into these like right wing comedian types. I'm not into the left wing ones either, but I just yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Um, so let's go here for a sec. Hold on, guys. I have to whoa drop my headset and do that, but I could be John and pick my nose on air, but I figure it's probably better for me to turn off the camera while I do that. Let's see what Frank has to say. Frank, Schmuel, isn't it insanely nice of KB to give a lady from humble beginnings the money he did? Compare that to the guys you like ganging up on a woman today. Uh, well, obviously there are differences. And, you know, nobody thinks KB has somebody on because he's being nice to them. And it's a sideshow. So, good for KB. And the a woman who we're talking about getting ganged up on today uh, wanted that. So they both got what they wanted. Um, so there you go. And Dick Fitzwell, Stallion 19 is lazy. Yeah, I don't think so. And back, I eat too damn much. LOL. Cigarette Jones, Pod Awful really likes Alex Stein. Um, Makes sense. It makes sense. I know Aaron really likes Alex Stein, and I'm not saying don't like Alex Stein. I'm just saying that I don't get it. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm big and I'm loud, and there I am. Um, and in the beginning, it was neat. You know, the train because he was pointing out the ridiculous of this transgender stuff at city councils, but after a while, it's like, all right, it's like was it Crowder who used to sit there with the "Tell me I'm wrong" signs? You know, fun for a while, but it's like an old joke, right? After a while, it's like it's the same. It's the same old joke. Um, she had it coming, LOL. Um, yeah, you guys can say that. Absolutely not correct. Frank, she shouldn't have dressed like that. No, she knew what she was. She came in there. She wasn't. She didn't. She wasn't beat up on. It was just a lot of yelling, and nobody got anywhere. Um, but Keanu's part of this. She knows. And all right, our boy. Here we go from TJ. I want half of all the merch. Check your texts. Oh my goodness. I guess I don't have my phone here. Oh, there I do have it. Let's check my text, Tim. Let's see what we say here. And obviously, I need to expand the browser on that as well. So thank you for that. I appreciate the super tips. I haven't really been pushing them too much because of I'm only learning how to use them. And oh, I know Finster. Tim, I know Finster. I see what you're saying, Timster. So do you guys know Baby Finster? Um, uh, Baby Finster was a kind of a cartoon character back in the day, probably Warner Brothers, and Tim is joking around about him, but uh, that's great. That's great, Tim. So, what's the deal, guys, with Karmic? Um, I saw he said he took stuff down. I went to his channel. There were no videos or anything up. Did he pull everything down and put it back up, or what's going on? I sort of haven't been in touch today. Is he? I like this better. Is he? But he didn't rage quit or anything, did he? So I don't know. I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him do well. So and He didn't go live today. Um, he has been doing a lot, right? He's he's been doing a lot, and this is not the easiest thing in the world to do. Um, he thinks he isn't monetized because of all the AI shit. Final boss. He redid his whole studio. Now I understand the chair went in the fire thing, and Diggity, he deserves a day off. Yeah, he does. He does. Um, to take out some of the AI elements because that's what YouTube said blocked his monetization. Um, I wonder if the algorithm is picking up so much of the AI, even though he's worked on it. The AI algorithm thinks that this guy's stream is just AI, um, and not like somebody that put content and effort into it. So I don't know, man. I listened to a YouTube guy speak on this shit. No, because people were asking him questions about the algorithm, and his answer was the algorithm is the audience. We do. That's what the algorithm is, and the algorithm only does what the audience wants. And if the audience doesn't want it, you're not going to have it. So it felt a little bit like they were um, trying to avoid responsibility for stuff, but I could see that. But that really sucks because it's like if you're an actual musician and he's using Suno, I think the AI thing, which he pays for. Um, so he's not just putting in prompts and shit like that. Um, he's actually got to work on it. So I, it's to me, it's as if you're a musician and you're using the AI stuff, it could be just another tool, like just another instrument. So, oh look, Catalan on TV. What a bunch of women, worse than women. Okay, it's than, not then, but what a bunch of women, worse than women, when 90% of you are full of shit. Um, okay. Um, all right. Kind of not on point. Maybe we get some context there and we'll understand it. TJ, yeah, that girl is as sharp as a marble. Yeah, she is sharp. All right, I'm not reading these first, which I probably should be doing. Sabi KB wasn't generous to that lady is like Pat Dixon claiming the money KB gave him was just a write-off. You really have to say this to people in real life to see how crazy you sound. Um, KB didn't give the lady money, right? It's KB's running a business. He wouldn't have the lady on. He didn't donate money to her. KB had the lady on because he thought it would bring him super chats. And so let's not let's not act like Kevin is a charity. And Cigarette Jones, I think this must be about the AI, right? I thought some Indian guy reviewed it. Anything is possible. Maybe it was that Steven. Was the guy's name? I want to say Steven Singer, but that's the jewelry guy. The guy that Chris Abels had. The guy's last name was Singer. And TJ, general question: how's Gracie doing? And from what I understand, Gracie is doing well. And I could have seen Gracie a couple of weeks ago, except it was Easter Sunday. All right. Hard work. That Dragon MLC took 15 hours. It's what, 1 minute long? That Dragon MLC video took 15. I'm so sorry, man. I'm lost on this one. And Gracie is fantastic, TJ. Oh, well, guess what? Catalan on TV. He paid my sister $500 and he took in 480. Some days you win, some days you lose. So good for that. So he basically paid your sister $20, right? But then we get into nets and all that shit. So Joey, I'm not complaining. He Anyway, I'm just saying that KB's not. He's not a charity. He's not a charity giving shit out. He doesn't pay anything. Um, so he doesn't pay anything if he doesn't. He wouldn't be paying people if he didn't think he was going to get something from it. So there you go. And so it's the 110 he promised, Joey. See, I don't really watch MLC, so I don't. I kind of miss that. And Catalano T Stallion, uh, your sister did awesome today. That's great. That's cool. Glad she did well, and that Kevin just didn't try to abuse her. Um, oh, TJ. Oh, Crimea River homo. Oh well, and I hope she didn't spend it already, or the new husband take it. And Ian, Catalan on TV. Yes, you are. He contacted me and asked what it would take. She said 500 and he paid it. End of story. Right, but it wasn't a donation to her. He paid her money. He's lucky he didn't pay her 600 because then he would have sent her a 1099 at the end of the year. Right? It's like a business. So, but I'm glad that he said he would do it, and I'm glad that he did do it. Makes a very good point when he says a man of his word. Good stuff. So, yeah. She said 5 and he said 5 and they agreed on 5 and he actually paid her. That's fantastic. The Catalanos did well today. Hey, a $500 day doesn't come along um, that often. But Joey, the wedding picture, the wedding video was amazing, and it was interesting, and it was a lot. It was a lot of fun, and it was fun watching Christina do the officiating. That was very sweet of her to do, um, and all in all, it was a good thing. And nobody is none of the people here with the jokes about it are making fun about your sister or the wedding itself. But Joey, you got to do something about that weight, buddy. You were just walking when you were on the phone. You were having trouble breathing. So, we don't want to lose you. We want to have you around. So let's do it. Um, and Sam Bibley, I didn't see the interview. It was good. Apparently, Sam, it was. That's what everybody's saying. I didn't see it either, and we won't get to see it because Kevin takes his shit down, um, which I think doesn't make any sense because I think he's leaving a lot of money on the table. But it's Kevin. Kevin's going to do what Kevin wants to do, um, and uh, that was generous for the newlyweds. 500 is a lot for Kevin, I will say. He doesn't really part with the money that often, um, unless he has backers. If he has backers, then he'll do it. Mint Diggity, Patreon, you idiot. Well, Kevin doesn't put everything up on Patreon either. He does take stuff down. And the other thing is, I don't want to give Kevin any money. So there you go. So that's why I don't see it. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying I just don't see it. I just don't think it makes sense to take it down because I think he would be making ad dollars. And there you go. See, we got it. Borgo backed him. Answer to the question. Because Borgo's backed him in the past with Stuttering John and with other people. So he didn't have to do it. And you got to get MLC Patreon or Petron, as we like to call it here. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Just not my thing. He is a charity. Literally every super chat Ray gets can be traced back to KB. I don't like to have someone to admit when they do something good. You are a Melton fan through and through. This has nothing to do with me being a Melton fan. Has to do with me being aware of what Kevin's doing. We just found out he was backed by Borgo. So it wasn't Kevin's money, right? It was Borgo's money that he gave him. And if he really wanted to be a nice guy, he could have just literally given her $500 and not have to have her come on the show, right? So uh, let's not act like it's a charity. And um, I'm certain that some of Ray's chats, super chats, can be traced back to Kevin, but certainly not all. And being on Kevin has not helped a lot of people. So there are not a lot of people that it's that's moved. So I wonder if it's on Karmic's channel. I don't know. Karmic is he's everywhere now. Everywhere now. Um, Mudshot Night Titties MLC was great. It may be, and I'm not saying that it wasn't. I'm just saying that I don't really watch it. So there you go. And you look like snot. I know. I'm like 62 years old. It's the middle of the fucking night. What do you want me to look like? Right? And then they complain, you booger. Got it. Oh, mint. Mint, mint, mint. I'll wipe my nose just for you. I keep a snot rag with me while I'm doing the show. Yeah, so I think been an hour and 15. I think it's about time to wrap it up. Um, thank you to TJ and BYB and Sue Party. I appreciate it. And BYB, I promise I'll get this sound situation figured out. And if I can't, I will send it. I'll send it back. But your tweet is evergreen for my show. And you know who else keeps a rag next to him during a show? I do not know. I do not know. But it's really just a napkin. But I had to grab something fast, so this was bigger. Can we get a Ray Hope Schmuel stream soon? I am all for it. You got to convince Ray to do it. I mean, I could certainly do a stream with Ray, but to try to get Hope on at the same time. We had Hope on once. I was on with her once with him, but he I think Ray gets nervous that I'm going to say something that's going to embarrass him. So my goal is actually to get Hope on first, and then we'll go into getting Ray on. And Morsky, hey Shmuel, don't go around asking people if they're into rape. It refers to sexual assault. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. One of the great things, though, is that at my age, I can play really dumb. So sometimes I am, and sometimes I play. Frank, Ray said the most he made was in the 20s, and he was live streaming at the time. Then it jumps by over 10K. It's fair to say thanks to his association with KB. And it may very well be Frank, but it's not my job, right? I'm not. It's not me. It's not my money. I got nothing. I got nothing in there, and you're sure that it's Christine, I believe, or Christina. I'm sure that lady is appreciative of KB too. Anybody's appreciative of $500. It's not the issue here, pal. It's that you're making you're making it sound like Kevin did something special and unique and blah blah blah. And the reality is, he got Borgo to back him for 500, and he paid her 500. I mean, it's not that hard. It's like, and Kevin, Kevin wouldn't do it unless he thought he was going to make money on it, whether he did or he didn't. But if Borgo backed the 500 and he made 480 on his show, definitely a net positive for him. And so there you go. TJ, no more channel for Karmic X. I think he's got a channel. And when's Karmic going live? This guy is an idiot. I know. I know, man. I am an idiot. What can I tell you? It's why I'm here. So, uh, I want to say thank you to everybody. It was fun. Didn't think I was going to do this tonight, but you made it all worth it. And I love answering the chat. Final Boss says that Karmic is going on soon. Um, and Melton is on, so there's plenty of stuff to watch. And this way, you can get your anger out over there, and your frustration on me will be dissipated. Um, so that's it, guys. Good night. Thanks all for doing it. And Mint is happy that I'm leaving. So good night, Mint. And it looked like you were fishing tonight, and so I hope you catch something. And uh, it's not. It's treatable. And Cigarette Jones, great stream as always. Thank you, Cigarette Jones. Um, that's why I have. That's why I like you in the chat. Um, you lie to me and make me feel good. So, and take it eat slow. Sorry about that, man. Um, but sea bass season open, right? Isn't that what I read yesterday? So get them. But it's fucking cold out there tonight, so should. All right, this old man's gonna smoke a cigar and go to bed. And Mint is in his truck bullshitting. Ah, I gotcha. I gotcha. But I saw the picture earlier and I was like, my first thought was, it's fucking cold out there. So, um, you're a dedicated fisherman. I'll go with you. We'll go out of Belmar at some point this summer on one of those things, and it'll be a lot of fun. And peace, Schmuel chat. All right, dudes. Good night. Don't want to overstay my welcome. Tim, thank you. Derek, thank you. Soup Party, thank you. And we'll see you again probably over the weekend. And I will try to be less of an asshole. Bye.